What's up, guys? It's Apathy here. I'm not trying to sound like SCARCE. I apologize for that, but I am just trying to make a video, and I wanted to finally get a jump start on this new series that I've been thinking of for a long time, but I haven't really got it out yet because I've been busy with client work and school and stuff. But the idea is called Apathy Talks. It's pretty much videos where like a speed art or something being seen, and it's just me talking to you guys. I've realized that every time I tweet my opinions out, people do not hear or really get what I'm saying, and one, Twitter is so limited by 140 characters, and two, sometimes when you type something instead of saying it, since there's no emotion or something behind it, it just makes you sound weird, and people take Twitter seriously, so I'd rather give my ideas in a safer way. I just wanted to kind of just talk about two different things. One is just feedback, and another one is just a new era, and I'm going to try to transition them in between. So, when it comes to feedback from most people, I just want to look at it from a perspective as a designer, because I've noticed that a lot of people are like off about it, and this is not just feedback of just me criticizing your work. I mean just how people view what work is. Now, when I've noticed that like a lot of people haven't paid attention to it, but each designer have their own style and their own way of working, which means not necessarily feedback or everything you say can be helpful or, I guess leading them into the right direction unless you're trying to help them perfect another style. One thing I've noticed from my personal perspective, when people have their own styles and they show it to me, sometimes I'm at a pause like what to say and what to do, which is why like when people tag me and say, what do you think of it? Or like what sorry, or what can I do to make it better? Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, because this is your own thing and this is your own creation. This is something you thought about, hopefully originally, and the only thing I can tell you is either one, my style on how to like change it, or I can show you that like I can look at your style and look at a bunch of other styles and see what's done similarly and try to help you get a result that you're probably looking for. But I can tell you whether or not if it looks good or looks bad. But I don't want people to think that like when I tell them it looks bad or whatsoever, that they should stop doing what they do. Because to be honest, if I don't like it, it doesn't mean that like 20 other people won't like it. It doesn't mean that 1,000 other people don't like it. Just because like, I have a big following and a lot of people look up to me or whatsoever, or look up to a bunch of other people, doesn't mean that what I say or what anybody else say is law. It's just what I think, and a lot of designers in this community don't get that concept that like what some people say is what they think, and it doesn't necessarily have to be right, which means all your motivation and everything doesn't have to be fueled by it. When certain people get feedback, sometimes it puts them in a position where they're ready to quit or ready to stop designing completely because one person doesn't like it, and sometimes that one person literally doesn't matter. Everybody have their own styles and have what they do because they do their own thing. So it shouldn't really necessarily matter unless you're just starting off. If you're just starting off, then obviously feedback should be really heavy for you because you obviously just starting designing and you're just getting the ropes of Photoshop or whatever program you use. But when it comes to just doing your own thing and doing your own style that you think is nice, the main person that's in charge of who thinks is good or bad is you. Afterwards, other people, you're just giving it to see opinions, to see who else likes what you've done. And then you make a decision on whether or not you continue doing it. But try not to give one person power over what you do because they give you feedback. But and when giving feedback to like the people on the other side, try to be careful of how you do it. Designers have their motivation on what you say and what you do. Sometimes what you say actually can have power. And I think a lot of people have the attitude is like you get what you can get, or it is what it is, or like, hey, I'm not going to tell them it's good when it's bad, and etc., etc. But you have to understand that you have to be very polite and helpful. You have to be helpful when you tell them something. Even if they do something bad, you have to point out what they've done good so you can focus more on the bad instead of just saying, I don't like it. I don't think this is good enough. I'm not a fan, because this is not helping people. This doesn't help people improve. It helps people quit, because what you're telling them is that whatever they do is not good enough, and it's not good enough for them to stay. And you should be, especially as a person that people look up to, a person to like actually help and actually want to help, instead of a person that just wants to be like, hey, whatever I say goes, and like if this person asks me for opinion, he's gonna get what I think. And it's like, you should actually care about the people that look up to you, because you wouldn't be in the position that you're in without all the people following you behind. So you should at least show some appreciation and give them as much help as possible instead of being annoyed. If you are having a bad day, if you're working and like now is not the time, then you tell them later. Or if there's like something that like, if you see something on your timeline that you don't like, actually do it a favor to DM someone. I'm not trying to tell you how to use Twitter and whatsoever, or how to use anything to help people, but these are just some helpful tips, because remember, everybody here is human. But like back to the transitioning part, like especially if you're someone to be looked up to or look upon, I want a bunch of people in this community to actually thrive, to be better than everybody else, better than everybody they look up to, and like to create a new era. You know what I'm saying? There should be new people to look up to. There should be new people to enjoy. There should be new people that be like, hey, this is that inspiration. This guy does his own thing because this guy is doing him, you know? I'm not saying like everybody that's around needs to go away. No. But I'm saying everybody should have a goal to do better and to be their own person instead of trying to be like everybody else. This community is slowly transitioning, and I want to keep it going because a lot of people need to push to be their own person, their own boss, to be their own team instead of just joining a team, because COD teams are not the only thing you can do. You can move on into different in other areas. Being in a COD team is not bad at all. I benefit a lot from it, and a bunch of other people do. But there should be other goals you have in mind. The goal shouldn't be just to join a COD team. The goal should be to just be that person that everyone can say, hey, this guy helped me. This guy's a great person to look up to. This guy's a great designer as well. Like, just that person that people genuinely enjoy. You don't have to be just a great designer. You need to be a great person as well, because character and personality is key for whatever and anything you do. Because if people don't like you, that affects what you do. That affects what you make. That affects what you create. And that affects people's opinions of you. Unfortunately, you can do something so amazing. You can like fart gold. But if you're not a person that people like or desire or want to be around with, unfortunately, everything you do, they'll suddenly dislike. And hey, that's how life goes. And I'm slowly learning that lesson myself, because things follow you everywhere you go. I just like that the community is pushing for a change, and the community wants to do so much better, and I wish and I hope it continues. I'm sorry that this first video is kind of long. I want to keep these commentaries mostly 3 to 5 minutes maximum, if at most 10 minutes if I'm saying something really important. I'm glad that you guys took the time to listen to my video. I'm glad that you guys actually jumped in on the first series. I should have expanded on the idea of a new era, but I think everybody get the gist of it, that everybody should just push to be their own person and push to be their own boss and push to be the person that everyone looks up to. I will try to have a lot more uploads, and I'm trying to stay as active as possible. It's kind of hard thanks to me actually jumping into the college life. I am in Syracuse University. It's really cool. I love it here, and I'm studying, like, you know, my favorite thing, which is psychology. And I hope to continue it, but I hope to, like, keep active for you guys and whatsoever. I love you guys. Thank you for watching the video. Apathy out.